Welcome to Unit 3, Level 3 video notes. We will continue to perform 2 or 3 step conversions, and we might have some other skills with that. Here, a carpet for a large room measures 30 feet long and 40 feet wide. At a cost of $32.25 for every square yard, what is the cost of the carpet? So we know it's going to cost $32.25 for every square yard, for 1 square yard. Well, we need to figure out how many square yards are in this room. So let's draw a picture. One of the dimensions is 30 feet and the other dimension is 40 feet. So we need to figure out how many yards those are so that I can multiply them to get a square yard. So 30 feet, how many yards is that? Well, we could do a proportion, but I want to stick to unit conversion. We know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So if I multiply straight across, I get 30 divided by 3, which is 10. The feet cancel, I'm left with yards. So really, this rectangular room is 10 yards instead of 3 feet. Now let's change the 40 feet into yards. Same conversion. We want the feet to cancel, so we write 3 feet is 1 yard, and 40 divided by 3 now is a decimal. That is equal to 13.3 repeating, so I'm going to write out a bunch of them because I like to round at the very end, and if I take out enough of the decimals, I'm more likely to be accurate. All right, so that 40 feet is really 13 1/3 yards. Now let's multiply so that we get square yard. Now the area of our rectangle or our large room is length times width. So we have 10 yards times 13.3 repeating yards. And if I multiply that, I get 133 1/3, 0.3 repeating. And yard times yard is yard squared, or that's really a square yard. So now we're ready to find out cost. If I start with 133.3 repeating square yards, I can figure out using this conversion factor that 1 square yard is $32.25. Square yards cancel here, and 133.3 repeating times 32.25 is, and we get really close to 4,300, 4,299.989. So that's really close to $4,300 to add this carpet to our room. Just to recall here, I could have figured out that 133 square yards is how many dollars, because I could have set up a proportion with that relationship of dollars to square yards. If I would have cross multiplied this, I would have gotten the same answer. I do want to go over the fact that if we would have multiplied this and got 1,200 square feet, we can figure out how many square yards that is if we know the conversion factor. So let's derive it. If I have 1 yard by 1 yard, so that's about 3 feet by 3 feet. Oh wait, it is. So I can change that to 3 feet by 3 feet, because 1 yard is 3 feet. Now if I multiply 3 by 3, I get 9. So I know that 1 square yard is equal to 9, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 square feet. And that is true, it will always be true. So you can add that to your conversion sheet. Thanks for watching. And now I can say that I have 1,200 square feet, and I can change that into square yards using this conversion factor. 9 square feet is 1 square yard. So now my answer is going to be in square yards. And lastly, I can put my money factor in here, where I know that 1 square yard, those will cancel, is equal to $32.25. Now, if I multiply these straight across on top, 1,200 times 32.25 is 38700 divided by 1 times 9 times 1. And we get 4,300, and that is what we did get the first time. We're really close to it. Here, Roberta creates decorative fabric bows as a side business. The ribbon she uses sells for $2.25 per yard. Each bow she creates is 42 inches of ribbon. She can create 6 bows every hour. Last week she worked 16 hours making bows. How much did she spend making the bows? All right, so let's say we have $2.25 per yard. So that's equal to 1 yard of ribbon. Each bow, so one bow is 42 inches of ribbon. She can create 6 bows in every hour. And last week she worked 16 hours. So I can take my hours and figure out how many bows she made. And then I know that for every bow she made, I can turn that into inches. And all of a sudden I go to yards. Well, we know inches to feet and feet to yards. There's 12 inches in 1 foot. And then there's 3 feet in 1 yard. Whew, so what a pathway we have to take. So we're going to go from hours to bows to inches to feet to yards and eventually money. Check this out. It's pretty cool. Not the only way to do it, but I love it. So we're going to start with 16 hours. That's over 1. And we know that she did 6 bows for every hour. So I want my hours to cancel and 1 hour for 6 bows. Then I know that 1 bow takes 42 inches of ribbon. All right, so now our answer is in inches. And I know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot. And, 3 feet, not done with that one yet, in 1 yard, feet cancel. And lastly, the 1 yard is $2.25. Whew, so the hours changed to bows, then changed to inches, then changed to feet, then changed to yards, and finally the money. So now it's time to finish this. You can multiply straight across. 16 times 6 times 42 times $2.25 is 9,072. And on the bottom, I have 1 times 1 times 1 times 12 times 3, which is 36. If I take 9,072 divided by 36, I get 252. And our units is dollars. The shortcut is you can just multiply everything on top and then divide everything on the bottom. So I'm going to say this, or I'm just going to show you. 16 times 6 times 42 times $2.25. And then on the bottom, I can say divided by 12 and divided by 3. And that will give me the same answer. So that's the shortcut here. Multiply everything on top and just hit divide by this, divide by this, divide by everything on the bottom. So let's look at your homework.